So I don't know if I'm Facebook friends with everybody here, but I'm on Facebook friends with a lot of you. And on Facebook this week, I thought I'd try a little experiment. And so I posted honest question, what makes you angry? And I was hoping I would get a response or two. And in 24 hours, I think I got 90 responses of things that make people angry. And I just want to affirm those responses. There are a lot of things in this world that make us angry, that make you angry. And I just want to say, I understand. I understand some of the ones that I thought were really important. I understand being angry when the store is out of ding-dongs. Actually, Michelle was pregnant this spring, and you know, with pregnancy comes cravings. So I was craving Little Debbie Nutty Bars. Has anybody ever had those? And I couldn't find them anywhere, and I was angry. I understand being angry when you lose the remote control or your phone. I understand being angry in traffic. Common theme, a lot of people angry in traffic. I understand being angry with yourself. Some people get angry with themselves. I remember doing a presentation in seminary. It was from a professor in a class full of people, and it was emergent church theology. And I was doing this video. I was showing this video, and this video has this woman walking through an airport, and this guy talking about how we're so busy and we don't, have place importance on our relationships and stuff, and my presentation was on how it's never too late, right? And so you get to the end of the video, and she gets in the car, and she's driving out of the airport, and the music starts playing, and I'm at home, and I turned it off. I'm like, okay, we're done. So I'm showing the video in class, and I got this presentation about how it's never too late, and I'm showing the video, and I let it run till its very end, and as she pulls out, what I didn't see at home was a semi came in, hit her car. And so there I am in front of everybody with this presentation on how it's never too late, and that's and I was angry with myself. I understand being angry when you're lied to. There's nothing worse than being lied to. I understand being angry when people are rude or disrespectful. I understand being angry when the police act like bullies, maybe bigots. Very difficult. But I also understand being angry when the police are attacked by criminals. As a grandson of a detective lieutenant and a volunteer chaplain with the South Lake Police Department, trust me when I say that I get very angry when the police are attacked. And I understand being angry with the media, because the media tells you the stories that they want to tell you, and they leave out a lot. And there's liberal media to be angry with, and there's conservative media to be angry with, and overall it's just easy to be angry. I understand being angry when greedy people and corporations build massive amounts of wealth in unscrupulous ways. I said that wrong. Unscrupulous ways. And I understand being angry at people who take advantage of the system that we have to help those who are struggling. I understand being angry whenever sexism or racism rear their ugly head. I understand being angry at cancer and all diseases. I think we can all agree that cancer makes us angry. But most of all, I understand that in this broken world that we live in, this sinful world that we live in, we don't have to look very hard for a reason to be angry. And just a Facebook post by a pastor on a Thursday afternoon brings it out in us. That our anger is right under the surface, and all we need is an invitation to share why we're angry, and it's easy to have something to say. Because we live in a time where anger is prevalent. And you know what? It's okay. Anger itself is not sinful. There's nothing wrong with honest anger. But as Christians, we need to talk about anger. We need to talk about the ways we need to respond to our anger. The things we should do and the things that we shouldn't do. And that's actually what Paul's text talks about today to the Ephesians. How to deal with your anger. Of course, we have to start with the don'ts. Let's start with the don'ts. The first thing Paul says is, don't let your anger cause you to sin. Don't let your anger cause you to sin. Yesterday, I was playing in a golf tournament. And I was playing really well. Like, the best round of golf I've played in years. And I was really excited about it. I was getting to I think I can win this golf tournament. But it's not like I'm playing on the PGA Tour and there's not leaderboards. So I have no idea where I am compared to other people. And so I'm on the 18th green with a birdie putt, 40 feet up the hill, a long birdie putt, but a birdie putt on the list. And I'm thinking, if I just two-putt, if I make this birdie putt, I know I'm going to win. If I two-putt, I've got a really good chance, right? So the first putt, I hit 25 feet past the hole. Yeah. So the second putt was a lot better, though. It was down the hill, a little right to left break, and I missed it by 2 inches. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a bogey. That's fine. So literally, my ball is 2 inches from the cup. Right? It's like the cup, 2 inches, and my ball. And I missed it. I left it an inch short. I four-putted, finished with a double bogey, and I thought to myself, Nick, you have just given away the golf tournament, right? And I had been golfing with this group all day, and they found out I was a pastor, and all the things that I wanted to say and do afterwards, I just couldn't do, but it was building up inside, right? And I knew as soon as I get in my car, I'm going to say things that are sinful because I just gave away the golf tournament. It turns out because of my four-putt, I only won by 7. I played pretty well yesterday. So I wasn't as angry as I thought I was going to be. But still, I was ready to explode. Have you ever been there? Yes. I was ready to sin. Have you ever been there? But Paul says, don't let your anger cause you to sin. That is so difficult because immediately when we're angry, what do? We scream something that we shouldn't. And many of us, that thing that we scream is a sin. And so we have to get better at not letting our anger cause us to sin. And then Paul goes on to say, don't let your anger stay up with you all night. Don't let it stay with you overnight. Let it go before you go to bed. And then he says, and don't let the devil in. Because the longer you are angry, the more open you leave the door for the devil to walk into your life. Because anger opens the door. Which I found pretty interesting in light of the conversation that we had last week. Where Curtis Piper, who was recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, was sitting right here and talking about his experience of finding out that he has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and didn't have long to live. And for the first week he was angry and he was sad. He's still sad. He was blaming God. And then he realized, I can't do this. I can't be angry for the rest of my life. If I choose to be angry, my anger is going to destroy me before the cancer will. I can't be angry. And it changed his perspective on life. Don't let anger fester. Because that's when the devil walks in. I don't know about you, but I've struggled with that as well. I struggle with anger causing me to sin and allowing anger to check in to my life and stay as long as it wants, often longer than it should. So how do we handle sin? How do we handle anger? What is the best ways to handle anger? Paul writes about it, actually. Further on down in his reading today from Ephesians. Be kind to one another, Paul says. Be kind. Be kind. Kindness, I've come to realize, is a choice. Every day that we wake up, we have the opportunity to be kind. Every minute we're alive, we have the opportunity to be kind. And if we're kind, it's hard to be angry with people because people don't usually get angry with kind people. And so you kind of miss out on conflicts. Kindness is stronger than anger. Kindness diffuses situations. Be kind. And Paul says, and then forgive one another. Be imitators of God. That's Paul's words. The message of the cross is that God is not angry with you. That you have sinned, you have fallen short of God's plan for your life. God has given you the law, said, I really think you should do this. And you said, well, that's a good idea, but I think I'm going to do this. And God said, you know what? I died for you. I'm not angry with you. That's what the cross is about. But I found a Buddhist saying that I thought was pretty interesting. Being angry with others is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Because when you forgive others, you're not really doing them a favor, you're doing yourself a favor. Because this burden, this negativity, this anger you carry is only really affecting you. And when you forgive them and let it go, you find that the burden is lifted off your shoulders. Forgive others for yourself. But then finally, I think most importantly, is that if you're angry, use your anger. Let it motivate you to go out and change the world. Let your anger motivate you to change what it is that you're angry about. God did not create our world to be angry. God did not create our world to be sinful. We chose that. And you know what? We can unchoose that. We can change the world back to the way God intended. Or at least we can get it closer than it is now. And being angry and just posting your anger on Facebook doesn't make the world a better place. Actually going out and doing something about it does. If you're angry, partner with God to restore the world back to the way God intended it to be. If you're angry, go out and plant a tree. If you're angry, give to those in need. If you're angry, go out and volunteer at a soup kitchen. If you're angry, call your senator or your congressman and share why it is that you're angry. If you're angry, stand up to injustice. If you're angry, tell others about Jesus. But more importantly, tell others about Jesus' love. Paul, at the end of our reading today, says 3 words that I found just profound. 3 words. Live in love. So often we choose to live in anger, live in frustration. But Paul says, live in love. Do everything you can to love those around you, to love the people in your lives, to love the world that God has created. Because it's really hard to stay angry with people you love. And it's really hard to stay angry with the world you love. Amen.